Hello again. Oh, what did I hear? I know what I heard. I heard Obama's speech. Yes. Yeah, the chosen one is in Phoenix. After spending the night at the Squaw Peak Hilton. Is Squaw Peak, Anyway, I did a video on that. The Squaw Peak, that is. So here we got Obama. He gets introduced like he's a rock star. I mean, there's about an 8-minute introduction talking about how wonderful he is and how fortunate we are to have a guy like him, leading the charge, turning the economy around. Then Obama comes out and there's always clapping going on, Then he puts on his phony accent. The accent that he puts on to make him sound like he's one of the guys? And then he starts talking about the incredible recovery. He talks about the unemployment. He said, yeah, well, they thought it'd be like, 6-7%, but he says, we got it down below, like, 5.5%. He's using we now a lot instead of usually the I. There was a whole lot of I's as well, but there was also a whole lot of we's, which that isn't sort of apropos for him. Usually it's I. Anyway, so then he starts talking about gasoline. And he says, yeah, well, you buy gasoline. Oh, yeah, I'm a big guy again. Hey, question, Obama, what did you have to do with the price coming down? Zero. And then he says, don't be buying those gas guzzlers. No, because you know what? The gas is going to be going up. So let me understand this. The gas has come down dramatically, and now he's telling us it's going to go up. You think maybe it's being manipulated? Now, if he goes ahead and authorizes the Keystone Pipeline, which he will not do, but if he did, the gas should even come down lower than it is right now. But anyway, so then he talks about the middle class. The middle class, Yeah, the middle class. What middle class? He's pretty much decimated the middle class. Now, here's what I want you to do. When you get your paper and pencil or your pen, I want you to scratch down some numbers. Let's assume you're one of the folks that has the bronze plan. Now, there's 37 states that did not sign up for Obamacare as far as their changes are concerned. What that means is none of those citizens are eligible for what they're now receiving, which is subsidies so they can afford to pay the premiums. If that goes away, at the end of what? At the end of March, which is when the Supreme Court's supposed to hear it. Now, if they follow the law, and if Justice Roberts doesn't have his arm twisted about his Irish adopted kids, then maybe they'll follow the law. If they do that, Obamacare is finished. Why? Because you're going to lose 80% of the subscribers. You're going to lose them anyway, and here's why. Now that you got your piece of paper in front of you, I want you to, again, assume that you've just acquired Obamacare. And what you bought is the most popular plan that's being purchased. That's the bronze plan. Well, the bronze plan, once you've got the product, you got the cards, everything's kosher, you have a 40% copay. Now, let me explain what that means. That means if you go to the doctor and you need $1,000 worth of surgery or whatever you need for $1,000, you're going to pay the first $400. Now, you also have a deductible, and the deductible is going to be around $4,000. So what that means is instead of paying that first $400, you're going to pay the whole $1,000 because you've got to meet your deductible. You understand? All right? Now, once you've gotten over $4,000 worth of services that you've paid for, then you only have to pay 40%. So again, let's assume you have to go back for some more medical treatments, and you've paid your copay, you've paid your deductible. You still are going to have to pay $400 of the $1,000 bill. That's what copay means, and that's what deductible means. Now here's the question. How many people that are going to be under the bronze plan that can't afford the premiums, which is why they get the subsidies, are going to be able to pay a 40% copay with a $4,000 deductible? Now, let's say you have a family. Well, now your deductible stays at 40%. I'm sorry, your copay stays at 40%, but your deductible goes to $10,000. What that means is you're not going to be able to get any kind of tax break or savings until you've gone and spent $10,000 worth of medical services that you've paid for. So let's say you're now going back to the doctor, you've covered your copay, you've covered your deductibles, and you get another bill for $1,000, you're going to pay $400 of that. How many people do you think that can't afford to pay their premiums can afford to become involved in one of these programs? How about none? How about none? And that's why a lot of doctors aren't seeing a lot of patients, because the patients aren't arriving once they find out what they have to pay. Obamacare is a complete joke. Now here's another twist. Let's say you and your wife have the bronze plan, and your wife was pregnant and you have a baby. You can't add the baby. There's no software. You've heard me use the expression, there's no back end. Well, they can't account for anything. They don't know who's paid premiums. They don't know who hasn't paid premiums. They don't know who qualifies, who doesn't qualify. It's a complete joke. The whole thing is designed to shoehorn people into single payer. And that's going to come out, I got to believe, fairly soon. What he's waiting for is to have more people forced on Obamacare through the employer mandate. And then when you've got a significant number, then you really don't have a choice. That's what they're waiting for. But anyway, I sort of got sidetracked. The problem with what Obama said during his speech, like everything else that he says, lies, lies, lies. Nothing's recovered. Obamacare has so many hidden taxes that are going to start hitting people that they're going to be pulling the hair out of their heads. Yeah. Obamacare, the unaffordable, Affordable Care Act. So, now that you got that piece of paper in front of you, do you understand why it doesn't work? Why it can't continue much longer? I hope so. If you have any questions, ask me. I'll try to provide the appropriate answers.